Hello, everyone. Welcome to the September tropical update. It is September 22nd at about 11:30. So, update just came out from the National Hurricane Center, and I've been talking about this area where it's shaded red over here for a little bit now. Let me get organized here. And the reason this has been a topic of discussion is there has been a lot of activity around the Central American gyre it's basically an upper level low that tends to form around this region here, which encompasses a lot of where the red shaded area is. So what this means for the layman is there is a lot of activity going on right here in terms of the atmosphere. It looks like a roiling pot down there, which means there's a lot of energy. And it's not going to take a lot to get something to start spinning down here, which will, long term, equate to a tropical system of some type. Now, what's that going to look like? Well, here's where we got to find out and start looking at atmospheric conditions and think why they would put this here. So, simply put, this red shaded area, that is not the exact path of the storm. Do not get that confused. All this area is where a storm center could possibly develop within a given time period, and in this case, the next 7 days, and that's why this area is red. You can see the formation chance through 7 days, high 70%, and the 48 hour, that's what's getting my flags to start going yellow, is there is a low chance of 10% in the next 48 hours, which means we could be looking at a tropical storm or a tropical depression as early as Tuesday, but I suspect we're probably going to be looking at this between Wednesday and Thursday. That is just my personal feeling. Do not quote me on that. That is just a guess. These guys know what they're talking about. I am just a weather enthusiast who needs to keep an eye on the stuff and wants to make sure you're aware of what's going on. That's my entire purpose here. Is I'm not a meteorologist or anything. So I'm bringing this to you from the layman's point of view. What is important to know about this system, especially if you're anywhere in the Gulf Coast, but especially anywhere from Louisiana all the way to, I would say, probably around Tampa. As depending on your model, that is the most likely area of landfall. But it's important to note that there is no low pressure center with this system yet. But one will be developing very soon, which is why this shaded area is red. So, let's look at something a little more pertinent. Why things are probably going to start developing down here. Well, let's bring up radar Omega. And as you can see, we're right there just around that shaded area. You can see a lot of energy is in the atmosphere. So let's look at our loop here so you can kind of see what I'm looking at. As you can see, all the energy in this area is broiling like a pot because there is a lot of energy causing rising air. And you can see a feature up here where there is, well, a lot of people call it a cup, but it's really just an upper level trough that is grabbing some of this energy and pulling it to the north and over to the east, which is allowing for a lot of outflow, which means more energy can rise up and keep percolating. So that's why it looks like a boiling pot here. And what that means for us, a low pressure center is probably getting ready to form, because that is also introducing some vorticity. And with the Central American gyre, something is forming in the Eastern Pacific. Something is probably going to start forming in the Caribbean. And it's very possible all this energy could consolidate, but my point here is in the next 48 to 72 hours, we're probably going to look at something getting more organized here in this area. So the National Hurricane Center has been looking at this for over a week now, which means it's probably about go time. So the simplest advice I can have for everyone along the entire Gulf Coast region, especially from Louisiana to Tampa, that's looking to be the most likely potential impacts. Look over your hurricane kits, make sure your batteries are topped off, go over your evacuation plans should it be required, because we don't know the intensity, we don't know the exact path. So just make sure you know what your plan is should you need to click execute. Because we don't know where this is going, we don't know how strong it's going to be. It could be a guppy, or we could be looking at a great white. So we just need to be prepared. So hurricane kits, make sure your supplies are topped off. If you need to evacuate, should that happen, make sure you know your routes and your alternate routes, because a lot of people are probably going to be going the same routes as you. and make sure your plan is set up and good to go. That's the main advice I have for you right now based on the system and what we're looking at here. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll probably have another update for you tomorrow morning before I go to work. So hopefully not much will have changed, but if you're not paying attention to it, now is the time to start paying attention, especially if you're on the Gulf Coast. Yeah, let me know if you got any questions in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them or provide you the resources where you can find the answer. So again, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.